guys, my name is Ashley and welcome back to my channel, Worth the Read, where we talk about books that are worth your time reading. Today's video is a covers and cocktails video. I do this book series where I review adult novels and I kind of come up with a cocktail that I think goes along with the book that I share with you guys. So, let's get right into it. Covers and cocktails. Book that we are covering today is The Accidental Mistress by León. This is an author that is of Puerto Rican and Afro-American descent, so she's an Afro-Latino. And I purchased this book during Hispanic Heritage Month, and I did a whole Hispanic Heritage Month haul that I'll link below for you guys to check out if you haven't. And because the main characters in this book are of West Indian descent, so you have the main characters are from Trinidad and Tobago, and the love interest is from Jamaica, and it ends up having a situation happen in St. Kitts. I decided to do a rum punch. Now, we're going to get into the rum punch first, and then we'll talk about the book. So, in my family, I'm the person who makes the rum punches or any punch or alcoholic drink for family events. And I do a rum punch that my family loves with a twist, So I thought about this for this book, The Accidental Mistress. And that's my Islands rum punch. Now, I make this punch on a very large scale, talking about a 5-gallon container. So I'm kind of scaling it down to more Long Island measurements. So you're going to take a half an ounce to an ounce, depending on how strong you want it and how big your glass is, of coconut rum, half an ounce to an ounce of mango rum. You're going to also mix, you need a base. I like to use Tropical Punch Kool-Aid. I know it may sound crazy and I might be feeding into some people's stereotypes, but Tropical Punch Kool-Aid is a great base to create large punches. It has the sugar already in it. You really don't have to add any sugar, and it doesn't have that artificial taste that like Hawaiian Punch to me has. So I use Tropical Punch Kool-Aid as your base. So you're going to use about 2 ounces of Tropical Punch Kool-Aid with your alcohol. And I always, to all my rum punches or regular punches or any alcoholic drink that I make in a large batch, I add Everclear. Why? Because rum and other alcohols can kind of be watered down in punches, so you don't get that feeling of I'm drinking a drink cocktail, you know. So I always add Everclear to any of my punches so that you get that extra kick, that taste, that feeling that you want when you're enjoying a cocktail drink. So I add that in there, and half an ounce. If you're not a drinker, and I'm a drinker, but I don't have a problem. But if you're not a drinker, I would say half an ounce. If you like your punch to have a kick, I would say an ounce of that in your glass. You want to add pineapple juice and ginger ale. You want to mix your drink before you add the ginger ale, so your ginger ale doesn't go flat. So you're going to top it off with ginger ale and then garnish with a pineapple. All fruits from the islands, coconut, mango, pineapple. It makes a delicious drink, and it adds an extra kick with that Everclear. So this is the drink that I created for this book, Accidental Mistress. And this is great. It's great. Try it. I'll link it below, or I'll add the recipe and put in pictures or whatever. But this is what I was drinking, or what I was thinking about drinking when I read this book. Now that we have the drink out of the way, let's get into the book, The Accidental Mistress. Now, this book is urban fiction at its best. This book is what I'm talking about when I say a lot of people on BookTube don't really get into the urban fiction lane, but there's a whole world of books out there that people are missing out on. If you're looking for a book with women empowerment, If you're looking for a book where one of the characters is trans, so other than, you know, just black or other than white, there is a trans character in this book. If you're looking for a heist book, mystery, if you're looking for a book that shows diversity and people from different backgrounds coming together to work together, if you're looking for your classic urban fiction where it's like sex, drugs, alcohol, all that greatness, you will find all of that in this book. This book was amazing. I was not expecting any of that. I was expecting a classic urban fiction, but all the other aspects of this book, I was not expecting. So let's get right into it. Now, your main characters in The Accidental Mistress is Violet and Lily. They're both from Trinidad. Violet grew up in Trinidad, but earned a scholarship, she believes, to a boarding school in New England. And she ends up, her mother sends her to the States, and she goes to this prestigious boarding school where she quickly realized that her accent and her skin color can be detrimental to her. So she kind of pushes her traditions and her culture down to assimilate and survive in this new environment that she's in. Now, she has a sister, Lily, who did not get the opportunity to attend this private school, who grew up in Trinidad and kind of went in a different direction. Violet ends up graduating from this private school and attending Harvard, and Lily ends up becoming a stripper in a club in New York. So, two siblings from the same home going in two very different directions. And Violet finds herself trying to save her sister. At times, she's really not close with her sister. She gets annoyed by her life choices and doesn't understand how someone who grew up in the same home and had the same opportunities as she believes she did ended up the total opposite of herself. So Violet is engaged to marry Quentin, and he's this Afro-American elite 1% whose family is very prestigious and has money, and she met him in school and they end up falling in love and they're engaged to be married. So she graduates from Harvard. She's expected to be this prestigious wife. Because of her boyfriend's financial situations, she's able to kind of do what she loves, which is makeup. And everybody in her family is just like, you have this great education, you graduated from Harvard, why do you want to be a makeup artist? But that's her dream and that's her goal. And when you are not worried about finances, and this is in life in general, if you're not worried about finances and how that's going to take or how you're going to make ends meet, you tend to have the ability to do what you truly love to do. So one day her mom calls her and says, I haven't heard from your sister, I need you to go check on her. So being the great daughter that she believes she is, she goes to search for her sister, and in the process of searching for her sister, who happens to be a stripper at one of the largest strip clubs in Manhattan, a lady walks up to her and asks to borrow her phone. Can I use your phone? How many times have somebody walked up to you and asked to use your phone? After you read this book, you will never let them do that again. Ever. Nobody's borrowing my phone ever again. I'll call and I'll record and say, you know, this person is asking to use my phone at this time. I'm making the call for them, but I will never let anybody use my phone, all because of this book. This lady uses her phone. She thinks nothing of it. She's going away with her boyfriend for the weekend, and she gets a call, and she answers it, and the person doesn't say anything. She hangs up. They call again twice. Person answers it, doesn't say anything, and hangs up. She enjoys her weekend with her boyfriend. And then all of a sudden, her world gets flipped upside down when this woman accuses her of being the mistress of her husband. Now, in a situation like that, you're just like, I'm not your husband's mistress. Who is your husband? Well, her husband happens to be the owner of one of the largest stripper clubs, strip clubs in Manhattan, in New York in general, because he has multiple venues. Now, the husband disappears and ends up taking all the money. The money from the strip clubs, the money from investors, the money from the strippers. This is what I mean when I say women working together. The strippers and the strip club decided that they no longer wanted to work in the working conditions that they were in, and they decided to make a union. So there was a stripper union at this strip club, and they had invested in 401ks. He stole everybody's everything. So these women are working in the strip club. The owner steals their 401ks. They have meetings to decide on what they're going to do. In urban fiction, you don't get a lot of women working together. There's always like the two friends that are together, or the group of friends that are together, and then all the other women hate them, they're fighting and things like that. So I really appreciated the fact that these women, you know, worked together. They had a common goal and they worked hard, and they didn't let their occupation define them. They were strippers, yes, but they were all very smart, and they all worked very hard for what they had. And this owner stole it and ran off with his girlfriend, his mistress. So after the wife confronts Violet, it kind of blows up her whole life. The fiance wants to pause or break off the engagement. His mother needs to find out what's going on. His mother is bad publicity that this woman is accusing her, Violet, of being the mistress of this drug lord kingpin. The FBI is after Violet. They think she knows where this kingpin stripper mogul has gone with all the money. And the purpose and the main focus in the book is to find the husband. They need to find the husband because he has ruined his co-worker's life. He has an assistant that he was working with that now nobody wants to work with because they don't trust him. They believe he was in on it as well. He has a secretary who's currently unemployed because he ran off. They have the strippers at the strip club that are losing out on money and lost everything with their 401ks. They have Violet who's had her life ruined because of the accusations of being the mistress. And you have Lily, who's Violet's sister, who used to work in the strip club. It's a lot going on, guys. This book was amazing. These group of friends, including the wife of the club owner, get together and they're trying to find where this man has gone. Where could he have run off to with everybody's money? And the FBI really are no help in this. They don't believe that Violet isn't the mistress. They take her passport. She can't leave Manhattan. And this book reminds me of what Ocean's 8 could have been. I saw Ocean's 8 with Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock, but the movie sucked. And this heist, coming together to figure out how we can steal and find and get this money back, was great. It was amazing. I can't say enough great things about this book. If you are looking for a book that has diversity, that is urban fiction, so you're going to get the sex, you're going to get the love story, the love triangle that often occurs in urban fiction. You're going to get a lot going on. The main locations of this book takes place in St. Kitts and Manhattan. You have the main characters from Trinidad and Tobago and the love interest from Jamaica. So it's all, you know, island people. This book is definitely worth your read. I would recommend it to anybody who loves urban fiction, and I would recommend it to anybody who's looking to get into urban fiction. That's pretty much it. Now, I'm not going to tell you if they found the guy, if they got the money, what happened, and how it happened, because I really want you to read it for yourself. But I will tell you it's worth the read. Approved. Yes. The Accidental Mistress was amazing. When I would sit, where you know, I take my books everywhere, and I would read this book, and people would ask me, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "The Accidental Mistress." It's just like, why are you reading that? And I would start telling them about the great things in the book, and they were just like, that sounds so interesting. Yes, do not judge a book by its cover or its title. Take the time to get to know your books. It's just, you would miss out. So many people gave me a look like, why would you read that? And had I not read this, I would have missed out on this amazing story. So, like I said, just venture out. Read different things. I am currently reading, let me tell you. Today is February 3rd, and it's the third day of Black-A-Thon. And Black-A-Thon is a reading challenge created by Jessie E. to celebrate Black History Month. So if you haven't seen my TBR from my Black-A-Thon video, I will link it below. And so I'm currently reading right now Incognito, which is one of the challenges to read a Black graphic novel, a graphic novel with a Black main character or written by a Black author. And I'm reading, along with this, I'm currently reading Poet X, which is our group read. So everybody who's participating in Black-A-Thon is reading this book, and I'm almost done. My goal for Black-A-Thon was 6 books in the month. I've read 2, almost 2. I'm almost done this in one day. So I think I'm on the path to getting all 6 books, if not more, in. And hopefully I can do it. You guys know me. It takes me a while to read a book, especially when I get busy. And that is it for our covers and cocktails review of Accidental Mistress and our cocktails Island Punch. Right there. If you guys like this video, comment, rate, subscribe, hit a thumbs up, hit a bell for notification, do all that jazz that everybody tells you to do when you're watching a YouTube video, and have a great day. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Pray that the Patriots lose. And many blessings. Peace out from Worth the Read.